He has no chance. Mayweather takes him out inside of 5 rounds.
Oh, so this is you said.
And hold on. If McGregor actually comes at Floyd, 3 rounds or less.
Man, well, first off, why would he come right after him? And I don't think it would be 3 rounds. But you know what? You're the same cat that said the Cavaliers ain't have no chance against Golden State. So you need to shut your ass up.
Oh, boy.
Obviously, folks, you don't know what you're talking about.
That's the co-host of the Sports and More show, even though we on Sports Done Right. Reggie letting you know about it tonight. Hey, Reg, we got the one and only in here, I got to say. First off, host of Cooking with the Microwave. Give it up for Mr. Patty Cake himself. Jon Fisher is up in the joint. What's up, Jay Fish?
Fish, what's up? Man, you need to send me my damn apples.
Okay, settle down, fool. Settle down. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody's favorite uncle's back at the party tonight. Let's hit the music. That's right. He is the one and only number 1 Chief Rocker out of Atlanta. Give it up for Jersey Vern, y'all. What's up, Jersey?
Jersey, the true black Nostradamus.
Hey, man, I was going to talk some crap to Jersey tonight, but you right on point, man. He called it. He stuck to his guns, and that's why he is the hardest working man in the podcasting business, Reggie. Give it up for your boy.
My man. Now, I did say the Cavs in 7, but you know what? When it was, 3-1 or Jersey came in and was like spitting fire, just like, This is what's going to happen, like to a T. His ass should be up in Vegas somewhere. Definitely. He kept us calm, kept his Cavs fans motivated, and the rest is history.
History, baby. And also out of the A, as they like to say, got to give it up for this man known as the Hammer. Personally, I call him the Chief Justice of the X Squad affiliate nation. But he is a proud graduate of Georgia State. Served this country honorably as a paratrooper. Got to give it up for my main man, Sluggo. What's up, Sluggo?
Good day, Sluggo. I appreciate you coming on board, man. I haven't talked to y'all in a while. I have not chopped it up in a minute. I missed you guys.
Exactly. And that's why Reggie's going to be running the show tonight, basically, man. He's been itching. I see him on the monitor now. He's waiting to get at y'all. The phone number, and I'll put it out here in the chat, 651-968-0124. That is always the line here on Sports Done Right. And Reggie, we talked about Pat Summit. We'll get into her a little bit later. But, yeah, this death thing in 2016, man, very, very weird, very, very strange. And, man, we haven't even hit July yet.
I know it's been a rough year. I can't recall a year where so many just famous people, celebrities, and, Muhammad Ali. Don't forget that.
Oh, yeah. Yep, of course. Ali and obviously Prince and all the other famous people that have gone. I mean, this is just crazy year. But, yeah, the social media comes in. I'm looking at a tweet by Candace Parker. You held true to your promise and some. Thank you, Coach, for always being the perfect role model. I love you. And obviously her players, I read a very interesting stat about Pat Summit, and I guess we'll just kind of transition into that if you don't mind, Reggie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Of her players in her 38 years of coaching, of her players that finished out their 4 years of eligibility, all of them graduated. Every single one who stayed for the 4 or 5 years, whatever it was, every single one of them graduated. Hats off to that, first off.
Yeah, props to that. I think I heard that stat going into one of my physician's office, and I thought about it. I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. But the other thing to think about, too, is when you're looking at it's a great stat, but with the females at that time, you pretty much had to get your 4-year degree to really do anything because you didn't really have the WNBA.
Oh,
but,
but
brother,
it's props,
I mean, you're also talking about these ladies didn't get pregnant. They didn't get kicked out of school or anything like that. So that is a very, very impressive stat.
And that's the thing. And, I don't want to worry so much about putting the quantifiers on it. I just think that it's a remarkable record, starting almost 40 years ago. And to have any woman who stayed in your program till the end graduate and get that degree.
Very true.
I mean, that's just incredible. So you got to give it up for that. And yes, by the way, and I put this on the Sports Done Right page as well, she turned down the men's job at Tennessee twice. And I know that Ninja's out there. He sent me a text right before showtime or put something on the comment there. He didn't really believe it. But, yes, it is true, Ninja. She did turn down the men's job at Tennessee twice. You got to remember, Reg, before Bruce Pearl, Tennessee was a afterthought when it came to SEC basketball.
Yeah, she definitely put that program on the map. Like I said, she really pioneered women's college sports. And I even think, women's sports professional wise, like the WNBA and all that, put that in the forefront. The other thing is she was a pit bull, man. She was a great coach.
Great coach.
Yeah. They even said that she had recruited one player while she was pregnant or given birth or something like that.
Yep.
I used to love those battles with her and Gino Auriemma. I really liked that, and it's unfortunate that was cut way too short.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. I was on the drive home today in the executive motorcade. I was listening to some local radio, and one of the local writers here had a Tennessee guy on, one of the Tennessee mainstays. I forgot his name. The guy's like 84 years old, still sharp as a tack. And he was talking about Tennessee and exactly what you just brought up. About, once they got into the 90s, 2000s, the battles with UConn. And he said that he thinks that Pat just says, you know what? Auriemma is basically out recruiting us. I mean, that was proven to be true. There's no need to play these guys in the regular season every year. We'll just play them in the championship if we get there. And she apparently was open to playing them, like every once in a while during the during the regular season. She realized, what that game meant to women's basketball, but there just wasn't a point, and like this guy was talking about, he's like, hey, there's football teams that, they don't play Notre Dame every year. They don't play Michigan every year. So, she just thought it'd be interesting to just kind of see if it could parlay itself into actually her program getting better by being able to meet UConn in the championship game where it all counted.
No, I'll be honest though. Back then, those were probably the only two games that I would watch. You know what I mean? Because they were such rivals during the regular season at all. I mean, and on occasion I would catch a ladies NCAA tournament. So I get the point, but I think those two rivals, when they played each other, really drew some attention to the female NCAA basketball. I'll be honest, I don't watch WNBA at all. I mean, and I'm not dogging anybody or dissing anybody. It's just not watchable. But female softball, to me, is very watchable. I'll watch that all day.
And that's the thing, Reggie. Now, you're more of a baseball guy, so, that's probably why you're into softball a little bit more. I'm not going to lie either. I don't watch a lot of WNBA. I've taken more of an interest since, obviously, the Minnesota Lynx are winning a majority of these championships here over the past few years. And to be quite honestly, only championships that have been brought to the Twin Cities recently are by the Minnesota Lynx.
I'm glad you said that.
Well, it's true. It's true. And we give them props here, man. I'm the
you
sports
should.
Dub. Absolutely we should. And we do and we will.
That's all you got.
Hey, settle down, Reginald.
You need to stop talking about the Lynx, man. Come on.
I'm about to if you quit interrupting me, brother.
Well, you got like four other professional / college teams that you talk about, and all you talk about is the Lynx. That's pretty damn sad. How about you talk about your Twins? How about that? How about your Vikings? Your Gophers?
Are you done?
All right, I'm sorry,
I'm about to start talking about you. You keep going, you little sawed off mother. Well, anyway.
Hit the dumb button, dog. Hold on.
Yeah, exactly. But just to wrap it up on that, hats off to the women. Some, obviously some teams do better than others in attendance and whatnot. It is what it is. I think what it's going to take ultimately for the WNBA is to be a kind of a self-sustaining league without any help from the from the NBA side in terms of the finances keeping some of these teams afloat.
Yeah, you're right. Or it's going to have some help from some major corporate donors. And you're right. The WNBA's got to pull itself out from the NBA.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was just going to talk about her disease state because, I was fortunate, or shall I say unfortunate, to sell medications that treats dementia, which is early stage Alzheimer's. What's very interesting is that, being African American and growing up, I never experienced Alzheimer's. We always experienced heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, things like that. And when I sold the medication, I really didn't know about it until I actually experienced it firsthand. And just a real quick story, when you have Alzheimer's, it basically it robs you. You end up basically resorting back to when you were a kid, a newborn baby, pretty much. And it's a degenerative disease. It's very, very sad because you start losing your memory. Everything goes.
Well, everything in your brain just goes, and even the veins start shriveling up and kind of going away, and that's what creates a lot of the stuff because the brain doesn't get the blood it needs, and so on and so forth. It's scary, man.
It is scary. So the story was one day, I was at a doctor's office, and this guy runs in, and he's like, "Hey, you need to get help." And he's screaming at his dad, like, "I told you to stay in the car. And why do you always do this?" And typically when you have dementia or Alzheimer's, you just kind of forget who you are. You forget your loved ones. You forget your family. You'll just kind of do a daze. You forget what time it is. And this guy's dad basically was walking and he fell flat on his face outside and blood was everywhere, and I helped him up, and that was my first just real interaction of individuals that have Alzheimer's, and he just even recognized his son, and it's so sad. But obviously the best solution is you want to get help as much as possible. You want to slow down the progression as much as you can, preserve what you have, because obviously it cannot be reversed. It can only be slowed down. So
yeah, absolutely.
Sad.
Yeah, just sad all the way around. So Pat Summitt passes away today at 64 years young. Obviously, a lot of news going to be dropping over here. And not to throw too much shade, but I hope that her son can maybe find a way to live up to half of his mother's legacy and get his act together instead of going to the school where his mother started coaching and banging his players. So
yeah, not a good look. Not a good look.
Exactly. And today of all days, I hope that dude can get it together, because he got a young lady pregnant down there at Louisiana Tech.
Oh, so that's kind of what happened then.
Yeah. They decided to give him his shot. Obviously, that's where Pat Summitt started her college coaching career. And well, look what happened. Sickening.
Yeah, it also just kind of makes you question sometimes is why do these celebrities, their children just automatically get gigs, without really proving themselves, and they become immune.
He got a name.
Yeah.
He's Pat Summitt's son. Pat Summitt started at that school at Louisiana Tech, helped get that program up and running. At Louisiana Tech was a powerhouse in women's basketball while she was there and for a few years after she left. And wanted to, kind of at least get a name in there that they can sell and, maybe try and get something started down there. But obviously didn't work out that way.
Yeah. Well, hey, I want to hop back in and just address one of the chats that RC had said. And this was in regards to the boxing that you had talked about.
Yes.
Yeah. And RC said, as for Triple G and Canelo delay, I don't blame Canelo because he'll fight anyone. I blame Golden Boy Oscar for this delay. Canelo's Oscar's cash cow, and he's going to milk this fight for all it's worth. Most of the mega fights don't happen right away. Leonard Hagler, Tyson Holyfield,
Good point.
Mayweather, Pacquiao. But I agree with you, RC, but again, it's boxing, okay? And I think we're at a point where we really need to kind of get past all these horrible other fights. And boxing is a dinosaur. No one watches that anymore at all.
Well, hold on. Got to put you in check a little bit here, Reg. Again, Reggie's somewhat of a greenhorn. He's in his 40s, but he's still on the lower side. Reg, I believe it was 2 years ago, boxing pay-per-views outdrew MMA.
What?
That's right.
No,
Google it. Google it.
All right.
Google
you know what?
It.
Yeah.
Google it.
I would trust you, but you're obviously your internet doesn't work because you said